is not here. He'll be back tomorrow, hopefully. And Landrum with you until 2 o'clock. We're going to talk to Lennie Acuff, the head basketball coach of the Samford Bulldogs, coming up momentarily as they got their home opener coming up on Friday night. And it's some big news that was announced earlier today between the schools of Samford and UAB, and we'll talk to him about that coming up momentarily. I've been telling you for quite some time now about Golston Tree Service. If you have a dangerous tree leaning over your house or maybe branches blocking your view, call Golston Tree Service today, 205-337-4443. Golston's licensed pros, they handle everything from trimming and pruning to full tree removals, fast, safe, and affordable. Don't wait until the next storm causes damages. Call Golston Tree Service today. 24-hour emergency tree service is also available at 205-337-4443.
We'd like to welcome Samford head men's basketball coach Lennie Acuff joining us. Exciting announcement from Samford and from the South Side with UAB, and Coach Acuff joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline. Coach, welcome into Three-Man Front. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, guys. Thank you for having me, particularly during football season. You guys, you don't have a whole lot to talk about, I know, right now. So just thank you for letting us do that.
Oh, yeah. It's no problem at all. Well, Coach, the big announcement, we will start. We'll talk about your basketball team in just a moment, but I want to talk about this big announcement because I'm a UAB graduate, and obviously I grew up a UAB basketball fan. And to have this opportunity for UAB and Samford to announce this morning a 3-game series beginning next season. I know you know Andy Kennedy. You guys are good buds, and just take us how this came together. And man, this is going to be special for Birmingham basketball fans.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. I mean, I think we need to play. The reality of where we are now in college basketball, particularly if you're not at the Power 4, guys, you've got to do anything you can to create interest. I mean, it's just so important, and basketball is important in Birmingham, and and I think the way it's worked out has been really good. UAB's never been to the Hannah Center, and so that's a first, which we're excited about. And I have a ton of respect for Andy. I know you guys have been here a while. I mean, I hope everybody knows what a fantastic basketball coach is. I talked to him actually the other day before we went and played at Tulane, and it'll be great for us. I think it'll be great for our school, and it'll be great for Birmingham. I mean, and I also understand how hard of games those are. I have no illusion that those are games that most people sign up for. But at our level, and I think honestly where they are in the American, you're a one-bid league. And so what really matters is you get your team ready to play in January and February.
Coach, as far as something, and I realize that scheduling can be really, really tough, and this is an awesome announcement between Samford and UAB, but if we can involve as many state universities, colleges as possible and create maybe a 2-day event where we do it and we have different matchups from folks around the state, I realize that that's kind of a pie-in-the-sky dream, but how tough would that be to pull that off maybe in the coming years?
Well, I think it's a fantastic idea. I think ultimately, you're always going to have your linchpins in Alabama and Auburn, if you could get them to be involved in it. The challenge they have now is just home games, neutral site games, whatever it is. But one of the things that excited me about coming back to Alabama was, and I know you guys have talked about it, I listen to your show all the time, is, I mean, if you think about the success that's been had in basketball here in the last 5 to 6 years, it's incredible. I mean, and it's just not Alabama and Auburn now. I mean, it's from the north to the south, and I think anything we can do to promote college basketball is so important. And I think schools like us, South Alabama, Troy, Jacksonville, North Alabama, Alabama State, Alabama A&M, they're all at the low to mid-major level. A chance to put eyes on your product so people see how good of players you have, and any chance you have to create interest is important.
Coach, you've been around this game a minute or two. I'm just curious because we talk about this with not only basketball coaches, but obviously college football coaches, how much this has changed. Not only changed from the day that you started coaching in this business, but my goodness, the last 5 years, how much it has changed. I mean, how difficult is it right now, Coach? Not only the X's and O's part of the game, but the fact that you have so many other things off the court that you now have to deal with.
You do, guys. This Monday night started my 36 years as head coach in college, so obviously I've done it a long time. I'm not quite as old as people think I am. I started when I was 25, but in the last 4 to 5 years, I've seen more changes than I did in the first 31 to 32 collectively. Um, and it is a completely different world. It's really challenging at this level. There's no doubt. Like I will give you an example, and this is maybe something you guys can identify with. We actually played at Tulane the other night, hung in there for a long time against them, and had a chance the last 5 minutes and just didn't get it done. But we had a kid score 34 points. His name's Jaden Booth. He's a really good player. He's a transfer from a Division II school in Florida. And he's out of eligibility. At least we think he is. You don't never know in this day and world.
Right.
But he's a fifth-year senior. He redshirted at Florida Southern. So this is it. He's in graduate school here. I promise you, if he had eligibility left, we would have not got back to the hotel that night, and he would have had 100 phone calls from people meddling with him. It's just reality, and it's just so hard to keep your team focused on the right things, and he's an unbelievable kid. We're so fortunate to have him, and in no way was I surprised by how well he played, but he's human, and you know what a distraction that becomes for him,
Oh
his
yeah.
family, but you're trying to win games, and so I just think more than ever, our guys get here June 1st. And I tell them, I said, from June 1st to whenever we play our last game, this is not about you. It's about us. It is about us. Now, when the season ends, we'll make it about you, and I'm going to be fair, and I'm going to be honest with you. And if you've got a chance to go make life-changing money, sign me up. I will do everything I can to help you. But just to try to keep the team, the focus is probably the greatest challenge when there's so many outside factors.
Coach, if you were to describe to the layman or someone who was planning on coming to the Pete Hanna Center to watch your team play as we are, what would you say to the layman as far as describing the differences between what you do, the style of play with your team, and what we got with Bucky?
Yeah, first off, what a great job Bucky did. I mean, just incredible. So much respect for him. And there's a lot of different ways to get to 10. There's 8-2, there's 7-3, there's 5-5. It may not look the same, but ultimately we want to have the same results. And so, the biggest difference is we will not press to the level he pressed. Now, offensively, and I've spent a lot of time with Bucky and the guys on his staff, we play very similarly on offense. It's almost identical, actually. I talked to Mitch Cole's associate head coach the other day, and we talk a lot of basketball, and I think there's a very like-mindedness there. I don't what they did defensively. I don't really understand it. No, it's nor will we try to do it. But the thing that I want, honestly, guys, is I want to have a product that people love. They say that team is easy to cheer for. Like I want to watch them play. I want to bring my kids to watch the game and say, you know what, you could be like that. That's because I still think in our world, in our society, how selfish and narcissistic it can be, people will still pay for a team. Like they love to watch the team. And hopefully that's what we're going to be reflective of. Now, it's going to take time. We had to get a whole new team, and it just doesn't happen overnight. But I feel very confident we will play very hard. We'll play the game the right way. And as important as anything, we're going to represent Samford the right way. I mean, this is an incredible place, and I'm very thankful to work here. And I take the responsibility very seriously that we're an extension of the school.
Coach, in regards to the SoCon this year, you've got Furman, you've got Chattanooga. This is a very deep league. Just kind of talk about you guys going in that fight, because it's going to be tough like it is almost every year in this conference.
Yeah, and what's happened at our level, guys, there's just so much parity. And you see it even at the highest levels of college football. I mean, every Saturday. And that's what happens when you get into league play. When I was at Lipscomb, we were fortunate enough to go to the NCAA tournament last year, and we had some really good teams, and we played a lot of the SoCon teams. So I'm really familiar. We won at Chattanooga last year. We beat Wofford. Chattanooga was the regular season champ. Wofford won the tournament, and they were fantastic. I mean, I know how good this league is, and I'll tell you, and you'll see it as this thing evolves over the next 4 or 5 years. Fantastic coaches. A lot of coaches are going to coach at a level higher than the Southern Conference. I mean, Furman's been fantastic, and Interesting. In the last 6 years, there's been six different conference tournament champs in the SoCon, and so a ton of parity. And I think the whole thing for this deal is, can you keep your team in the fight? That's why you have to have high character kids. Because it's not easy. The first part of our schedule is just brutal, and talking about money is, they normally play two guarantee games here where you go and they basically pay you to come in there for them to beat you. Well, because we're trying to help increase revenue, we're playing four. Well, I mean, that's a tough mountain to climb, and so you just really have to every single day lock in and say, we just have to fall in love with the process and keep getting better. So when you're playing, when you come January and February, your team is in a good spot.
Lennie Acuff, head basketball coach, Samford University. The Bulldogs opening up home play inside the Pete Hanna Center coming up this Friday as they host South Carolina State. The tip at 7:30. Coach, unless you'd like to give your thoughts on the initial college football playoff rankings, we will let you get back at it.
Well, yeah, I think you guys have plenty to talk about. I love you guys' show. Anybody that talks about the Braves, Soho Taco, and anybody that's about the right things, that's what I like listening to, and I appreciate the job you guys do, and I look forward to meeting you guys and seeing you guys in person again. I know you met you one time this summer, but thanks for all you do, and thanks for having me on.
You need to come to the Taco Terrace when you have time on a Tuesday.
Yeah, come on.
Treat you to lunch.
Yeah. Hey, I was there last night, and I listen to you guys when you're there every Tuesday, right?
Yep, every Tuesday. Yep.
Yeah, I'm paying attention. I will do that for sure. I'm telling you, boy, that's a good spot.
It's great. Hey, Coach, good luck tomorrow night, and look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you guys. Have a great week.
You as well. Coach Lennie Acuff joining us, Samford men's basketball coach. All of our guests join us on the Higginbotham hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
Coach just mentioned the Atlanta Braves. A little bit of breaking news from the Atlanta Braves. Walt Weiss is filling out his staff. He's just named as pitching coach. Do you have a?
It's not Kranitz. So pitching coach.
Mm-hmm.
Was he on the staff?
No.
Okay. Did he pitch at the major league level?
He was in the National League East.
He was in the East?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
We are going David Cone.
No. Jeremy Hefner, who has been the pitching coach for the New York Mets. He is now the pitching coach for the Atlanta Braves.
Okay.
39 years old.
All right.
Before his time with the Mets, he was with the Minnesota Twins. Also, it looks like that they have named Antone Richardson. He'll be the first base coach for the Braves. He served the last 2 seasons as first base coach and outfield coordinator for the Mets. This just turned into a
well, let's not get all the Mets now.
The Mets South. Maybe the Polar Bear's coming.
I'd be in favor of that.
How about that?
I like Pete Alonso.
Would you endorse that?
Yes, I like Pete Alonso. I mean, not only is a baseball player, but I told you I was watching that show. It was about the guy that goes and kills whatever he eats.
Mm-hmm.
He has to go and kill. It was called Meat Eater or something like that. But one of the episodes, he was with Pete Alonso and getting to know Pete Alonso, the person. Good dude.
So the pitching coach is coming from the Mets. The first base coach is now your first base coach.
Just don't bring that payroll. Thing's nasty.
Well, you don't want to get caught in the cold, so schedule your system checkup now from a Trane comfort specialist. Trane has been recognized as 11 consecutive years as America's most trusted HVAC brand, and they're our exclusive home comfort partners here at Jocks. So go and visit Trane.com to find a comfort specialist near you.
We will continue with your text, your calls. We'll do some Pat Ponders later this hour. This is Three Man Front on Jocks. It is 1:18. Welcome back in. This is Three Man Front on this Wednesday. It's a beautiful day. It's supposed to rain towards the end of the week. We've got high school football playoffs beginning on tomorrow night, matter of fact. I saw where the Mountain Brook Mortimer Jordan game has been moved to tomorrow night because the threat of inclement weather coming in on Friday night. I know you're going to be on a plane. You're heading to Houston.
It's going to be 86 and sunny.
Yeah. So you won't be on the Spain Park call Friday night for their playoff game. We're hosting Opelika. Me and Molly will be in the elements in Trussville coming up. A home game.
Spain Park hosting McAdory.
Okay. And I know Helena is visiting Bessemer City.
Mm-hmm.
Some other local games that are going on. You remember that conversation that was being had between Western Michigan and Michigan about playing a game in Germany? You remember that?
Yeah.
They were going to try to play the game in Frankfurt. Well, the latest is that Michigan just announced a few moments ago that they tried, but they have now agreed to just play the game there in Ann Arbor. So obviously they could not work out the details about this international game in Frankfurt. It was supposed to be on August the 29th. So the two teams, they're going to play on September 5th there in the Big House.
Why don't they do like they do down here for like the traveling tours, like China comes to Birmingham or whatever. Yeah. If they just turn Ann Arbor or
into Frankfurt?
The Big House into
Wiener Schnitzels and
you got it all.
Beer gardens.
Lederhosen.
Yeah. Why not?
Yep. Boris Becker for the coin toss.
Boris Becker. Wow. That's good. That's a good pull. Name some other famous foreign tennis stars.
Steffi Graf.
Okay. Yvonne Lendl.
Right,
He was good.
Sharapova, but kind of.
Yeah.
Doesn't really count.
Who else? I know we're exciting FSU Dave right now because FSU Dave was a former executive. He was an official there in the wonderful world tennis scene for a number of years. Who else am I missing? I'm not talking about the new guys. I'm talking about the old guys like you and I remember.
Ivan Isevich.
Yeah, there's another one. Becker was a good pullback.
Yeah, I'm tapped out. Yeah, Boris Becker. I had his version of the Nikes.
It's kind of like we're doing the Immaculate Grid with Brett Norsworth.
Yeah.
It's like we're sitting there in Atlanta doing the
foreign tennis players.
Yeah.
From yesteryear.
Oh, my goodness. If you missed any of our interviews, go back and listen in their entirety on the Three Man Front podcast. Trey Wallace, he dropped some knowledge on us. He had a thought or two about the Auburn coaching search. You try to get him to
well, he said some interesting things. He kept going back to John Sumrall. He did mention Kenny Dillingham, not specifically to Auburn, but maybe using leverage as a play here. But in passing, as he closed with James Franklin, said that he's had a contract in front of him for 4 or 5 days from Virginia Tech, and he's still not signed the contract. So what that potentially means. Vegas odds still have John Sumrall as the leader, the odds-on favorite to land the Auburn job, but just slightly better odds than one DJ Durkin, who's Auburn's interim head coach and defensive coordinator. James Franklin comes in third. Kenny Dillingham's back at plus 1,200 odds now, I think, or plus 900.
So last night we had the college football playoff rankings came out, and I'm sitting here looking at the simulated BCS. Remember the old bowl championship series? If you were able to take all the wonderful computer models that was involved, whether it was the AP, the coaches poll, 6 BCS computers like the MATSI computer system, New York Times, Sagarin, all those, you put it together. It's pretty interesting if you put them side by side based on the old BCS and based on what the committee came up with last night. Number 1, number 2, and number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, all the same. Isn't that crazy? It's almost like they're sitting in a room with the old BCS formula.
Yeah.
And somebody's like sneaking in on their laptop going, okay, this is the way I'm going to vote. So 1 through 6, exactly the same. Exactly. Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss. Here's where it starts getting kind of wild. The BCS has Oregon 7. College Football Playoff Committee has BYU 7. BCS computers have BYU 8, Texas Tech 8. At number 9, the BCS has Texas Tech. College Football Playoff Committee has Oregon. But both the computer and the committee, they're number 10, 11, and 12 exactly the same, which is Notre Dame, Texas, and Oklahoma. So that gives you an idea, at least of the top 12. Very similar between the old BCS and what they released last night.
Not that they had a whole lot of room for variance, but do you feel like the committee was trying to send an initial message last night? I'm kind of up in the air. While you could read it and say yes, they were, but I go back to who else were they going to be able to justify putting in front of those teams?
I personally believe they sent a message to the ACC.
Yeah,
I think their message was, okay, that's great that Miami beat Notre Dame in week 1, but look at the body work since then, and we're not going to prop you up.
Yeah,
that was the message that I got. The ACC's in trouble. The ACC could end up with just one team, and that's legitimate. So if they were sending a message last night, that was the message.
800-239-WJOX. Let's go to our friend Larry. Hey, Larry.
Hey, guys. Love the show. Just want to ask 2 questions. Y'all probably know one of them off the top of your head in reference to, obviously the SEC. But the best 3 or 4 defenses in the conference, obviously with Alabama playing LSU, Oklahoma, and Auburn, number 1. Number 2, y'all made comment about something that y'all were referencing earlier about what people have said about Herb Street. My question in reference to that is, look at Big 10, Big 12, other schools. Look at all those schools and see how many athletes or skilled athletes are from the Southeastern Conference and play in those other conferences, guys. And I just wanted to throw that out there and get your opinion on it.
Yeah.
Listen every day, guys. Love the show.
Thank you, Larry.
Thanks, Larry.
I'll answer your first part of the question first. In regards to the top defenses in the Southeastern Conference, as of this moment, Missouri, Oklahoma, Georgia, Auburn, Alabama, that's your top 5 from a total defense standpoint based on average yards per game. Mizzou, Oklahoma, Georgia, Auburn, Bama. So Bama has got to face 2 of the top 4 defenses in the Southeastern Conference before they finish the season.
Yeah.
And the second part was
SEC
players.
Well, he's talking about,
Big Ten.
players. I don't know if he was talking about transfer portal guys, like a guy like Caleb Downs or would have been Quinshon Judkins last year. But if he's just talking about types of players from the Southeast, then I went to Ohio State's defensive line. Just go and look at their defensive line. It's guys that were recruited, I'm sure, by Kirby Smart and others. They're from the state of Georgia.
Well, their starting quarterback that potentially may be up for the Heisman Trophy. He was at Alabama. They're All-American in the secondary, Alabama.
It's go and look at some of what you would consider your Ohio States of the Big Ten. Look at their rosters, go to their depth charts, and look at where certain players are and where they're from. You'll see a theme. You'll see a pattern.
Very much so.
And I think you could correlate that into the success that they're having. In the NFL, they're pretty good at what they do, and for the most part, in evaluating talent. They don't always get it right. Or maybe they do get it right and the teams get it wrong.
Very true. When we come back on 3-Man Front, we'll do some Pat Ponders. We'll continue with your calls and your text. This is 3-Man Front on a Wednesday.
Oh, boy. Haven't heard that since Sunday. That sound means there's breaking news here on the show. And we send it to the three-man front breaking news desk where one Pat Smith is standing by. Good afternoon, Mr. Smith.
It does have to do with Auburn football, that's for sure, on this Breaking News Wednesday. Pete Thamel of ESPN has just reported that Auburn and Notre Dame have agreed to a home-and-home series in 2027 and 2028. The 2027 game is in South Bend, and the 2028 game will be played at Jordan-Hare Stadium. The schools have never played in football. So the series, according to Pete Thamel, adds a high-profile SEC opponent for Notre Dame at a time when many schools are cutting back on non-conference games. The talks about the game factored into Auburn's decision to move the Baylor game to a neutral site next season, which resulted in at least a $4 million payout. So once again, the headline at this hour, Auburn and Notre Dame, according to Pete Thamel from ESPN, they have agreed to a home-and-home series beginning in 2027 at South Bend. 2028 will be played at Jordan-Hare.
Now let's irresponsibly connect dots. Brian Kelly.
Brian Kelly is going to be the new Auburn coach.
Okay, you don't like that one. Marcus Freeman, next Auburn coach. Nope, I don't like that one either.
Stay there.
I got it. This is the secret candidate. Tommy Reese.
Tommy Reese. Yeah. Is he going to buy Charles Kelly's house again? Or was it Tommy Reese sold it to Charles? No, it was the other way around.
Charles Kelly had it.
It was Charles Kelly's house that Tommy Reese bought.
And he got a steal on it.
Yeah.
You think he still owns it? Or was it up for sale again?
I think he sold it.
I love the pictures, though. It was all of Charles Kelly's
all
stuff
the Florida State
sports
stuff.
room.
Yeah, because he was a defensive coordinator at Florida State. Yeah, when they won the national championship.
That's some pretty cool memorabilia.
So how about that? You like that? Notre Dame and
Notre Dame
Auburn?
and Auburn, yeah.
Never played in football.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy?
That is, yes.
That's big.
Let's do it. I guess if all else fails, Notre Dame's always looking for a game. Right? No, that's a good matchup. That's one that I think Auburn fans can get behind, get excited about. All right. He's got questions. We try to answer those questions. This is what we call Pat Ponders.
Brought to you by Courtesy GMC and Trust. We'll get by and see all the great people. They're at Courtesy GMC, right off of I-459 exit 32 in Trustful. All right, question number one. Did the College Football Playoff Committee set up a path for chaos, or did they quietly tip their hand about who they want in?
I think if I was going to lean one way, I'd say they quietly tip their hand about who they want in and where they recognize the strength is. Obviously, they value the SEC. I don't see too many alternate scenarios unless the SEC just fell apart, and that's going to be hard to do because of the head-to-heads and the teams that are still involved and in the conversation. I think that they value the SEC.
I agree with Landrum just because of Notre Dame as well. Because even last week when I did my bowl projections, I had Notre Dame in because I had the same thought process of they're going to give them the benefit of the doubt, even though they do have those 2 losses in the beginning of the season, one of those being to Miami, the other one to Texas A&M. So I think they kind of put out there who they want in and not necessarily chaos.
Okay. Question number 2. If the playoffs started today, which matchup would you actually want to see? Not just for drama, but just for pure good football. What matchup?
Of the ones that they gave out from the projection?
Mm-hmm.
Just the first round?
Just the first round.
Most intriguing to me.
I want to see Oregon, Texas Tech.
That's a good one, but I know they're from the ACC, but Virginia and Ole Miss kind of.
Yeah.
Is kind of appealing. Notre Dame and BYU just.
You don't like Georgia, Memphis?
No.
No? I don't?
No.
Sorry. That was a trick question.
No disrespect to
I
Coach
do like
Silverfield.
seeing Virginia in there, though.
Just because of what they do offensively, I think the 2 styles, that would be. That's not one of those SMU Penn State games where you go,
Ugh.
well, I'm not going to bother.
Right.
I'll bother for 10 minutes, but that's it. No, I think that one.
Yeah.
And plus, it involves an SEC team, not named Georgia, playing a team like Memphis.
Okay. All right, next question. If you had your choice to sit in a suite to watch a game, which one of these matchups would interest you the most? Would it be watching a Cowboys game with Jerry Jones, Bama game with Nick Saban, or a Chiefs game with Taylor Swift and Jason Kelce?
Easy. Chiefs game with Taylor Swift and Jason Kelce.
Golly, as much as it pains me, it'd be a Chiefs game.
Would it really?
Yeah. I'd be minding my P's and Q's with Coach Saban there in the box. You don't know, is it okay to cheer? Do I question that call?
But see, Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones, you could do whatever you want to do, man.
But could you bribe him? Like, hey, I'm really struggling to pay my rent this month. Like,
I can see Jerry Jones, something going bad in the fourth quarter, and then all of a sudden he flips.
yeah.
You've been eating all those all day.
I just give him my Venmo.
Yeah. Or you just it ends up like a fever dream, and you wake up in a weird place.
So I know she would want to sit close to, obviously, Tay-Tay.
Yes.
Would you want to sit close to Tay-Tay or Jason? Where would you gravitate in that suite?
Well, if I'm going to do the whole experience and I'm going to be in the suite, no, I want to be next to Tay-Tay.
Just because you want to be on TV?
I got a lot of questions.
Oh.
No, I got a lot
I
of
thought
questions.
you just wanted to be on TV.
There's a good chance that I'm removed from the suite because Tay-Tay cannot concentrate on the game. I'm asking a lot of questions. Have nothing to do with football. Would you not have a lot of questions for Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
I absolutely would. Taylor, do you remember when you played in Huntsville back in like 2007,
Yeah,
2008?
I'm sure she would
I was
remember
there.
that. Yeah, sure she would remember
Really
that.
small concert, but I was there.
Remember those early Christmas tree memories of you and your family going?
Yeah, on the farm.
How's that sound? How does that song go?
Christmas tree farm.
Taylor, remember the morning I was driving from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh, and I drove by your hometown, and you weren't there? That was cool. That'd be Taylor Swift.
All right, we're going to wrap up with a couple of back-to-back BB questions.
Oh,
because
yay.
we haven't.
These are always a little bit dangerous.
Yeah.
I like BB questions.
Oh, I like them.
Yeah.
There's just sometimes it puts you.
But
in a
you
tough
really
spot
never
to
know where
answer
you're going to
them.
go. Yeah.
All right, here's the first BB question. Predictions are that our winter this year will be much colder than normal and will soon be cranking up our heating systems. Do you use an electric on the cold side?
It just depends. I used to be where it would have to get really, really cold for me to turn on the heat. Now that I've gotten older, I get colder a little bit sooner, but I'll still keep it at 68 degrees. No electric.
8 degrees in the winter.
It just depends. If it gets really cold, I want to be hot.
Mm-hmm.
Ceiling fan is going to be on in bedroom.
My apartment's not very big, and my thermostat's automatic. So it'll kick on the